Module 30, Mouth and Chin. Quickly draw the basic oval form of the head and place two horizontal lines for the upper and lower lip, suggesting the placement of mouth in a face. In a separate oval form of the head, I will draw a mouth that is open, shading the inside of the mouth completely, leaving the lips as an outline for you to clearly understand. Another such drawing with a different kind of mouth. Try and draw the basic shape of the mouth, or half close your eyes to see what the basic form of a mouth is. Try a few sketches like these from imagination. To start, measure the width of the mouth and locate the corner points of the lips. Take yourself back to recognizing the basic shape or sub-shape that the lips comprise of. By close observation, you will spot four almond shape or dewdrop shapes placed horizontally in the mouth. Two on the top, with the tip of the almonds facing outside in a mirror image of a same just below. Combining these four almond shapes by a line running all across the mouth, you will get the shape of the lips. If you view the mouth from side or a profile, you will see the same two almond shapes forming the upper and lower lip. Fill the lips by shading the forms in rough sketchy lines. The shade will give the lips a fuller look, adding volume or body to your basic drawing. Lips curve inwards towards the teeth, hence forming a shadow as a dark line where the lips meet. With these shapes as guidelines, you can now conclude the thickness of each lip. Some people have very thin lips, or one of the lips will be thin enough to be seen as just a line. Make a mental note of the basic shape of the lips, which is shaped like an almond. Try a lot of lines first. Scribble and practice the basic form of the lips by drawing the almond shapes and joining them together to form lips. Separately, try the almond shapes, scribbling the almond or dewdrop shapes several times. I will show you another way of constructing the lips. You may also see these shapes within the basic form of a closed mouth. Place 4 small circles like these. Draw a line as wide as the width of the lips and join the corners of the lines to the outer contours of the circles to get the basic shape of the lips. Sometimes there is a huge difference in the shape of each individual's mouth, primarily because of the lips. Lips are thin, protruding, compressed, or pursed. The lines at the corner of a mouth can droop, like in this case. I will draw lips using a live model. He has thick lips. The width of the mouth is small, and the thick lips create a port like this. Fill the lips with a neutral shade of grey. Darkening the corners and the center line to add volume. The source of light is from the front, creating highlight in the center. There is a strong shadow below the lower lip above the chin. The lower lip protrudes out to hang above the chin, thus forming a dark shadow below. The upper lip overhangs the lower one and hence is darker than the lower lip, which is mostly facing away from the light source. The drooping line at the corner of the mouth often forms a strong character line. Since the lips are not a straight axis and follow the curve of the teeth. It results in a play of tones around the mouth. If you have practiced shading in a still life study of vases, pots, fruits, or any round object, it helps in understanding the tonal variation on rounded object due to light. The model has a very strong and wide chin. You have to most importantly measure the distance from the lower lip to the chin and the width of a person's chin. I will add a few highlights by erasing. I will make another drawing to explain the structure of the chin further. The chin plays a crucial role in defining your jawline. Some people have a broad chin, mostly on a round face, or a narrow chin, giving a triangular shape to their faces. Chin and lips together is a complete unit here. The shiny highlights that we often get in the center of the chin is an important light and shade definition on every face. I will draw the basic shape of the lips as discussed before. The nose above it, finally drawing the eyes. Since my basic fundamentals are strong, I can construct a face whichever way I like. Starting from the chin, traveling up to the eyes. You can do the same if you practice several portraits every day. Look at a few portraits where the mouth and chin helps define the character of face. See the mouth and chin of this old lady. The formation of the chin has been lifted with a strong highlight created by the use of an eraser. Since the right side of the chin is dark and merges with the neck area, this highlight solely is responsible in giving the chin its shape. The highlights are forming the entire face, giving it its shape and mood. The mouth is tilted at one side, defining her mood further. The mouth and lips also suggest the age of the face. The portrait here has been drawn from imagination, so keep in mind that all the features should go well with each other. As I have mentioned before, that the rest of the facial features are often developed according to a person's nose. Closely observe anybody's face and you will notice that not only are the eyes, mouth and chin formed to suit the nose, but the shape of the face is also based on the same. A person with a big nose will have a broad face. If a person has a sharp nose, the shape of the face will be accordingly. An athletic, strong, sharp nose will have a strong, square face. If the nose is sharp but the rest of the features along with the chin and jaw line is round, the face appears odd. God or nature use that as a general rule to build us. If the eyes, chin, nose and mouth are not in proportion or related to each other as a family of particular forms, the face will end up looking strange. These are general guidelines. When followed by nature, makes a person appears beautiful. However, you may come across faces that do not agree with these rules. The features of this old lady face are soft and round. Even when you draw from imagination, keep these general rules in mind. The eyes should go well with the nose and mouth in terms of proportion and forms. Observe pupil and faces around you to understand this further. You will realize why some pupils appear more attractive than the rest. Look at the another face here of an old man who appears to belong to a cold place. This portrait is also from my imagination. His features are heavy and bulging. Look at his nose and eyes in relation to each other. The thickness of the lips and his big, strong nose support each other. Observing faces over the years, I always felt that the nose acts as a center of the face and the rest of the face builds up around the nose. His features are in proportion to each other and the basic structure of the face also resonates with the rest of the features. Look at the various elements like the beard that helps in adding a certain character to this particular face. The lines of the beard are repeated in his hood over the head. The lines around his eyes and forehead are also similar. The lines of his lips, mouth and forehead all are in relation to each other. The lines that suggest the folds and wrinkles of his skin also complement or are in relation to the strokes in his beard. I spotted this lady at a railway station. She was sitting like this with her mouth open and staring far away. The pose she had, she appeared lost in her world. I don't know if she was staring at something in awe or surprise or whether she was thinking about something. I didn't get an idea as I quickly passed by. I saw her and then left for Aligarh, thinking about the lady's face all through my journey. But her expression remains in my mind and I started sketching her in my look while I was on the train. Look at her chin here, her nose, her lips. Everything goes well in relation to each other. Her main character starts getting defined by the nose. For example, her nose is flat, so her lips also appear closer to her face rather protruding or bulging out. It is interesting how her lips are parted and you can see the inside of the mouth. You can see her tongue as well. Total features are very well arranged. Her lips and open mouth contribute greatly to her expression. If I would cover her lips, her eyes do a lot of talking. They are very expressive eyes. But if I cover the eyes to just reveal the mouth, they takes us to a whole new chapter altogether. They add to her story, giving it a different direction. If you just see the nose, it won't say anything. Nose doesn't have an expression of its own. Nose is just an element that helps build other expressive features. Now if I cover the nose to reveal the eyes and mouth, there is still a lot to think about the face. It fits in our understanding as a certain character. It speaks whether the person seen is sad, happy, excited or calm. But the nose alone is not capable of telling us anything about the person's mood. This is a very interesting drawing, where I primarily picked the dust of the pencil or lead and used my hand and thumb to create the face. There is no definite chin here, but only strong suggestions of the chin by the highlight. Like other portraits, this particular one also has her features related well with each other. Other than the chin, mouth and other features, this portrait is a beautiful example of light and shade. It is the tonal variation that is creating the forms. The portrait is built primarily through the play of light and dark, then the forms and shapes responsible for its creation. Her nose is long, delicate and soft. It is not a round nose, neither it is sharp and pointed. Thus the lips are well rounded and the mouth is not too wide, making the lips appear delicate, the young. Though the right side of the face is entirely missing, yet the area is well related to the left part of the face. It is due to very gentle suggestive shadows if you look closely. This portrait is also from imagination. There is no definite line of a chin, but the highlight suggests the presence of a chin. You can imagine a chin. There are a few things that an artist leaves to the viewer's imagination. When the painting, portrait or a landscape captures the attention of a viewer and allows him to imagine further about what he sees in front of his eyes, the viewer feels involved. It is like reading a book. Similarly, there is no eye on the right, but there is a strong suggestion of the eye covered by a shadow. The viewer will complete the portrait in his head. He will imagine the eye, the outline of the chin, and he becomes one with the portrait. Now he is involved and spends more time looking at the drawing than he otherwise have. The chin binds the center face together, so do not ignore the formation of the chin and mouth while drawing portraits. Spend time in observing the chin and think how it contributes in defining the entire character of a person. Looking at this portrait, the viewer may feel the chin is close to the highlight or it is much below the highlight. This sets his imagination running and he gets drawn towards the work and puts his own feeling to the artist's work. Let me show you my chin as an example. I have a strong nose. It is not too wide. It can best be called a sharp nose. I have well-shaped wide lips and the width of my chin perfectly complements the shape and width of my mouth. Understand how every facial features is built in relation to each other. The width, shape and length of every feature is in proportion to suit the overall structure of the face. Look at the formation of mouth, chin and lips of these two men here. The first one on the left has a very well defined face. The shape of his feature and chin are constructed by clearer lines. He has a strong square nose, which gives him fuller lips, a mouth that is square, and his jawline complements the structure above. The model on the right has a chin that merges with the jawline, rather standing out. He has a round chin which is in close relation to his nose and lips. He does not have a broad square structure like the first model. He has a round cut and not wide strong lines defining his face.